You are welcome to my channel. In this video, we want to reproduce the figure that is displayed at the right hand side of the screen using the principle of tangency. Now, if you look at the figure closely, the first thing you should do is to draw your horizontal axis this way. So when I place it here, I draw my horizontal axis this way. Alright? This is what I have. Now the next thing you're going to do is to draw your vertical axis. So I should take this and I'll be drawing my vertical axis this way first of all. Now let me make it more visible. Now if you look at this closely, you discover that the circles, we have two circles here, right? Let's say this is from this center to what the circle is given to be what, 38. If you look at the diagram very well, right, from the center line, this is the center line, you can see to the right hand and the left hand side we have 38 millimeter each. So I am going to measure 38 millimeter on my meter rule this way, and I'll be having this. So this is from 0 here to 38, and this is 38 here. I see that, and I'll place it at the center here, and I'm going to mark 38 to the left and what, 38 to the right. You can see that. So that will be the center of my circle. Is that okay? Now let me draw out the circle at the base here, because if you look at this object, it is symmetrical vertically and horizontally. When I mean symmetrical, I mean that whatever you see in the left hand side is equal to whatever you see in the right hand side, right? So if you see now, if I split this figure into two, just like you can see on the screen, discover that the right hand side is equal to what, the left hand side. Similarly, if I split it into half, discover that what's at the top, which you can see, is equal to what is at the bottom. Is that okay now? So whatever I'm doing at the right will be the same thing recruited at what, at the left, and whatever I'm doing at the bottom will be equal to what I'm doing at the top, right? So look at what I'll do now. Now since the distance of these two circles, if you discover, look at the base here, it says 6 holes, diameter 12 millimeter, right? So at the diameter, I'm going to measure 6 millimeter, which will be the radius. So from here to this point here is given to be what? Given to be 6, as you can see here. Is that okay? And I'm going to place it at this point. So when I place it at this point here, that is where I'm going to draw one of the 6 circles in which I am going to take in. As you can see, then at this point also I'll do the same thing with the same measurement. One of the 6 circles. So now we've done that. Now the next thing we're going to do is, from this circle, which you can see, to the next circle is given to me what, 62. So that means from this baseline here now, I'm going to measure 62 upward, because they are all at the same line. So I'm going to measure 62 upward. So if I place it here, from this point here, so measuring the 62, this is 0, this is 60, 61, 62 is here. So at that point, I'm going to do the next circle. As you can see, I'm going to do the next circle, just a faint line first of all. So my next circle will be at this point here. So what I'm going to do is, since they are on the same level, I'll just draw a vertical line on this point here. From this circle, I'll draw a vertical line this way, as you can see, just here. faint line, make it more visible. Then here also, let's make it as visible. Now if you look at it, where they meet here, and at this point here is another center of this circle. Remember, we have 6. We've already drawn 2. The remaining 2 is here. So I'm going to come here. What I used to draw this, which is radius of what? 6. Right? I'll place it here. At this point here, I'm going to draw the next circle, which I'm going to take in. And also here too. I'll draw the next circle, which I'm going to take in. You can see that? Now if you look again from that same point here to the next circle up here, it's still given to be what? 62. So that means it's also 62 too. I'll just measure 62 from this point. Again. So this is 60. And this is 61, 62 here. You can see that? So I can easily move my set square to that point, to the point there, where I'm going to draw the other circle. So this is where they are meeting. As you can see, they're meeting at this point and this point. So from here to this point is 62, and from here to this point is also what? 62, as you can see there. So I'm going to draw the next circle, which is the same thing as saying radius of 6. That I used to draw this. I'll come here also. I'll get the radius of what? Of 6. I'll come here too. I'll get the radius of what? Of 6. Now I have drawn the 6 circles, as you can see on the screen. Now the next thing I'm going to do is this. The other circle that is having the same center as this circle here and this circle here. And that circle, if you look at it, it has a radius of what? Of 12. That taken? So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to measure radius of 12 on my meter rule. Right? This is from here to 0. And this is 10, 11, 12 here. And I'll come to this point. I'll just draw a circle, faint line first of all. Just faint line. Then here also draw another circle that will just touch here. Faint line. At this point too, I'll draw another circle. Faint line. At this point here too, I'll draw another circle. Faint line, because we're given the radius of what? Of 12. Can you see that? When I'm doing that is, I will not take my rule, right? And I'm going to draw, if you look at both of them, they are tangent to each other. So you can see the circle here. So I'll draw it from this point to this point here. You can see that? Does it that way. You can see that. I'll come here also. I'm going to do the same thing at this point too. This way. To be tangent to it. You can see that. Now the next thing I'm going to be doing is that if you look at the right hand side of the screen, you see you have a curve here. You see you have what? You have a curve here. And the radius of that curve is given to be what? 100. So what will you do, since the curve is coming out, is not going in, what will you do? You're going to subtract the radiuses. So I'm going to say that 2 of this radius here that I used to get this circle here, they're given as what? Radius of 12. So I'll subtract them from 100. So what will I do? I'm going to say the radius of what? Of 100 minus the radius of what, of 12, and that's going to be giving me, that'll give us 88. So I'm going to measure 88 on my meter rule this way. I'll measure 88 from this point straight down to this point here. This 80 and this 88 here. You can see that this is 88, and I'll place it at the center here. I'm going to strike an arc at this point, right? I'll place it at the center here also. I also strike an arc at this point. Is that taken? So whatever I do for here, I'll do for here too, in order to get the same arc here. So I'll also place it here too. I'll strike an arc this way. I'll place it here also. Since they are symmetrical, I'll strike another arc. So this point here, you see, is for the arc here, while this point here, you see, is for this arc here. So let's do that and see what we'll be having. So when I place my compass at this point here, I'm going to move it, right? I'll move it to this edge here and ensure that I'm going to draw an arc from this point. You can see that. I'll place it here too. Take it to this point, you can see. So I'm going to draw this to touch here. Now taking it. I see that. So let me just adjust this so you have a view of what I'm propelling out here. You can see that. So if I bring this down a little bit, so this is what we'll be having, right? So I can easily just stick in this aspect from here to here. I can easily take in the aspect from here. This point. You can see that. I'll come here also, I'll do the same thing. I'll come here too. I'm going to do the same thing here. Right. And here also. So this is what we have here. So we brought out the shape out. So the next thing we're going to be doing is to start drawing this curve here. You see this curve that we have here? That's what we need to start doing now. So the first thing is from the center line, the center line, to that small circle. To what? The small circle is given to be 38. But before you do that, we discover that from the center here, you measure the 38 up. So this is 38 here. That will be the center of this circle here. And that is giving us a radius of 25. If you can look down here, it's telling us these two circles, I told you they are symmetrical. If you look down here where the arrow is pointing, two holes, we are talking about this hole and that hole, have a diameter of 25. So the radius will be what? 12.5. So I will measure 12.5 on my meter rule. This is 0. This is 12.5 here. Right? And I'll place it at this point where I told you the 38, and I'm going to draw a circle. So to the next one also, we measure from that center still, which is this center, straight down to give you, that is 50. You measure 50 from that point. So measure 50 from this point. This is 50 here. That is where I'm going to draw the other circle with the same radius of 12.5. I'll place it at this point here. And I'm going to measure the same thing here. You can see, so we've done this. Now you measure 32, radius of 32. If you look at this arrow here pointing at this circle, so this circle, you see this bigger circle here, the radius is what? Is 32. I'm going to measure 32 on my meter rule this way, from 0, 32 at this point, right? And I'll place it at this point here. I see that at this point, and I'm going to mark down here. That point will be my center where I marked here. That point will be what? My center here. So if I do that, and I'll draw a circle, front line first. Let's draw a circle front line first this way. See that? Now the next thing we'll be doing here, if you look at the diagram closely, you discover that this arc here, there's an arc that is connecting this big circle and this other circle here, and that radius of that arc is given to be what? 16. So my meter rule, I'm going to measure radius of what? 16, which is this. You can see that, and I'm going to place it at the center here, where I'm going to do the next circle. All good. So I'll just draw a faint line first this way. So you have any circle there, don't worry. I'll just draw my faint line this way, and I'll come here also. I'll do the same thing. Remember, I told you they are what? Symmetrical. The same radius of what? 16. I'm going to place it here too. Just your other circle here. You can see that. Now, the next thing we'll be doing here is that if you look closely, there's another circle at this point here, which is given as what? Radius of what? 20. You can see that. So the circle, this circle that is wrapping this smaller circle, can have a radius of 20. I'm going to measure 20 on my meter rule. From here to here is 20. And I'll place it at this point. Now I'm going to draw another circle, faint line. You can see that. Now after doing that, there's another circle again that is connecting this circle and this circle here, as you can see on the diagram, and it has a radius of what? 76. So if you look at this now, that circle here is, this circle you're seeing is inside that bigger circle, as you can see. So when it's going in, you're going to add. When it's coming out, you're going to what? Subtract. So I'll be subtracting. So 76 minus 20 will give us 56. So I measure 56 on my meter rule. Use 56 here. Let's just make use of this. From 0, 50, and 56 is here, somewhere around here. You can see that. And I'll place it at the center. I'll track my arc at the right hand side and also at the left hand side. Remember, I told you they are symmetrical. What you do at the left hand side will be equal to what you do at the right hand side. Now if you look at the other circle, the circle is going inward, so you're going to what? Add. So because it's what? Internal. So when it's going inward, you always add. So when I want to add, I'm going to add the radius of 16 plus 76, and that will give us 92, right? It's going to give us 92. 76 plus 16 will give us 92. So I'm going to measure 92 on my meter rule from 0. This is 92 here, 90, 91, 92, somewhere around here. You see that? So I'll place it at the center here. All good. And I'll strike an arc this way. And I'll place at the center here. Also strike another arc this way. So from this point where the arc meets here, that is where I'm going to draw the other arc from here. I'll be touching here. So if you do that, you can see that. And I'll turn it here also. It's at the center here where they meet at this point. Can you see that? Then I can easily complete this circle here. And also complete this here. And also complete this here. Then complete this. Right? Then this is what we have here. We have successfully reproduced the figure, as you can see. So what you just have to do, you need to put in your dimension, which is very important. So you put your dimension here, just like you can see in the figure, right? If you have found this video helpful, please don't forget to like, to subscribe, comment, and share the video. Thanks for watching.